Okay, a lot of people have been asking how to replace an oven thermostat, and this will be basically the same for all the Flairs. There's a few that have a different thermocouple that's in the back of the oven, but most years of the Flairs have a standard oven that you turn off and on. It's the same on the 1962, 63, it's all the same. So you have an oven here, left oven and a right oven. So we're going to replace this oven thermostat. So the first thing we want to do is go ahead and pull off our knob. We're going to go ahead and open the oven door, and this is the oven that we're going to be replacing the thermostat on. You can see the thermostat temperature sensor right here held in these little clips. So the first step, maybe a little hard to see, but the first step is to unclip from these two clips. Some Flairs will be different, they'll have a different style clip, but it's all the same. This temperature sensor needs to be unclipped in order for us to fish it up through the top of the oven. Okay, to unclip the oven, you just kind of push up on the clip here, and we'll push up on the back one. Just be very gentle. This is copper wire and it's attached to the thermostat, so if this wire breaks, your thermostat is dead. There's no replacing this wire. It is permanently attached to your thermostat. If this has been cut or if this breaks, you might as well get another thermostat. There's no repairing it. So just kind of gently bend it. It's copper, so it's bendable. And then we're going to be fishing it through the top of the hole here, and we'll show you that hole when we get to the back of the or the top of the Flair. Okay, we've got the top panel of our Flair removed. We're unplugged from the wall and power's been killed to this Flair. Please make sure you do that before you poke around up here. Here's the oven thermostat that's bad. So we're going to take out all these Phillips head screws on all these color-coded wires right here, and there's a few on the sides and bottom. You can do this one of two ways. You can have your replacement thermostat here. You can simply take a wire off here, put it on your new thermostat. Take the next wire, put it on your new thermostat. Take this wire, put it on your, that way you don't get wires mixed up or anything like that. So that's an easy way to replace your thermostat, one wire at a time. A little bit tedious, but it will ensure that your wires go back onto your new thermostat in the same order they came off your old thermostat. The second thing is, if you can see this copper wire, it comes all the way over here. They always give you extra copper wire. It comes around here and it goes into the top of your oven. This is insulation. You can see me poking at it. This is where we showed you earlier in the video where we're going to have to fish this up. So the first step, of course, would be to unscrew this. This little holder holds the wire down from the thermostat. So we'll just kind of try to do this one-handed here. Kind of move this away, and you want to put this back, covering your new thermostat wire. When you're doing this, you may encounter multiple places where the wire is kind of being held. Go ahead and just remove the screw, and that'll make fishing your new thermostat in and out much easier. So we'll just simply pull this up. Go ahead and take your clamp here off your wire. Okay, went ahead and removed this. We'll use this again when we run our new thermostat wire. Okay, and just like in our previous videos, we've gone ahead and removed the top cover of your fluorescent light, which is very easy. 2 Phillips head screws, one there, one there. Top cover comes off, we slide the glass out, we remove the fluorescent bulb, and on this 1960 model, we've got to take this trim piece off in order to free this panel and get behind it. On the 1962, once you take the glass off and once you take the oven dial off, you'll be greeted with the 2 screws holding the thermostat on. Because this is a 1960, there's a couple extra steps, as this panel is all one piece. So to remove this panel, we're going to have to take out these Phillips head screws here in order to remove this trim piece. And then there's 2 screws up here holding the top of the panel. We've taken those out. There's 1 Phillips head here and 1 Phillips head here. That'll allow you to rotate this panel up and out, kind of like this, and we'll be back as soon as we take this trim piece off. Okay, we've removed the Phillips head screws holding the bottom panel trim on. So we're going to go ahead and remove the bottom panel trim. Just like this. Out and up. and then we're free here. Once you've got this free, you can kind of take this out. So here's our trim panel out, and now all that's connecting our fascia panel are the indicator lights. So if you've got a bad indicator light, this would be a good time to replace that. Let's say, for instance, this one was bad. What you'll want to do is just wiggle this, and it will push, kind of right here, push right out the front. You can pull this indicator light out. Go ahead and I can sell you a used one, and it goes in the same way. Back through the hole, push it back in, reinstall. That's the same for any of these indicator lamps. Okay, this is the thermostat that we are replacing. This is for the big oven. So just kind of gently wiggle it, holding your thumb on the front, and it will pull off. It also has the two little tabs that fit into these two indentations that index the temperature. One more thing to say here is sometimes this will come unglued. Go ahead and glue it back on. If it does, you'll sort of see the fingerprint of how it came off, and you can glue it right back on. Okay, we're going to replace the thermostat, and to take it out, you take out this mounting screw here and this mounting screw here. Don't mess with these two little screws, they're part of the thermostat. So it's just two little screws, this one here and this one here. When you're done taking that out, save your screws. Okay, we've removed the two screws that we talked about, and so now our thermostat can simply come right on out. Okay, our thermostat is completely free of all its wiring. You can see right here on this thermostat that this copper wire, as we were explaining, is part of the thermostat assembly. If this is broken or cut, then you're going to need a new thermostat. You cannot replace this wire. So if you notice, this is the wire we talked about earlier. So we're going to leave the thermostat right here, and we're going to go ahead and come over here, and you can see we're starting to fish the thermostat wire. Get the light correctly here. We're going to fish this up and out of the oven. Here it comes. Okay, now it's free of the oven, and you just need to fish your thermostat wire back up underneath here, just like this. And this wire is bendable if you get in a bind, especially with this really long thermostat thermocouple. It's able to bend a little bit, so it's, you know, a little bit malleable. So you can kind of find a way. If you have to kind of bend it like this, that's fine. You just simply bend it back very gently, and you're good as new. This is what your thermostat looks like. So for installation, let's say that this is the new thermostat. We go right back into the hole, just like this. We'll go right back into the oven. You can see that. We'll just feed this back into the oven. Back into the clips. We'll take our thermostat wire, our new thermostat, go back into the hole. Hopefully you've connected your wires one at a time, and button up the front. Reassembly is just the same as disassembly. Remember to put things like this back where you've got your clip. Make sure you run your wire back in there. Make sure you run your wire over here with your little secure holder here for your wire, and then reassemble the front of your Flair and enjoy baking again.